Jojo Siwa has messed with Lil Tay, and you guys, when Jojo Siwa did her song Karma, no one would have prepared her for the amount of karma that was about to locate her. Because at this point, let's just say that karma found Jojo Siwa's address and it has been knocking on her door like a persistent salesperson. It all started with the little rebranding, you know, Jojo trying to shake off her sweet image and dip her toes into the bad girl pond. But boy, the backlash. The backlash was like trying to walk through a hallway filled with banana peels while wearing roller skates. A hilarious disaster waiting to happen. Then there was the weird karma dance challenge, which ended up being a viral meme. The first time I watched Jojo do it, it felt like watching a giraffe try to salsa. Awkward, to say the least. And as if all that wasn't enough, we later learned that Jojo didn't even cook up the idea herself, as she had earlier insinuated. As it turns out, the song has been done over 12 years ago and had even exchanged ownership several times until Jojo brought it out from the discount bin of ideas. I am not saying the song is stale, but it wasn't a project from 2 years ago, as Jojo kept saying before she got caught. To make matters worse, people weren't even feeling the song. For some reason, they've been giving Karma the side eye, calling it basic and cringy. Then Jojo started having imaginary beef with people close to her who joined the Karma dance challenge. Like, girl, isn't that what you wanted? One such person was Tana Mojo, which we covered in the previous Jojo Siwa story. If you missed it, go back and watch. And then Tana clapped back, and in true Jojo Siwa spirit, she looked for someone else to mess with, and that was where she went wrong.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
You might want to get your popcorn, loves, because the real drama queen has just stepped onto the scene. Lil Tay, the queen of salty, with a tongue sharper than a sushi chef's knife, has joined the hate train, and she's bringing enough salt to season the whole darn popcorn bucket. Y'all know Tay can throw shade, and throwing she did. The tea is sizzling hot, y'all, because when Lil Tay is involved, you know it's gonna be one heck of a roller coaster. It all started when Jojo Siwa liked some post that was trashing Lil Tay. If y'all remember well, this is typical Jojo behavior. Even during the Dance Moms reunion, she ended up liking all the comments that were shading Maddie Ziegler and all the other girls who never attended the reunion, and it sparked a conversation. However, Maddie never addressed Jojo because, Maddie is never confrontational, actually. But not Lil Tay. She's the kind of person who will drag you for days. And so when Jojo sided with the enemies, Lil Tay said, huh, you're trying to be funny, Jojo? I'ma be hilarious. So this tweet right here is the cause of all this. Y'all know that for some weird reason, people always try to pitch celebrities against each other, just as it had happened between Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish already. And so in the wake of Jojo's music release, the internet started comparing her music to Lil Tay's. Someone wrote, there is really no comparison between Jojo and Lil Tay anyways. Jojo has a career, Lil Tay is just a meme, and a pathetic one at that. So obviously this is a very demeaning thing to say, but things went from bad to worse when Jojo Siwa liked the tweet. And when Lil Tay noticed what Jojo had done, she said, girl, it's only Michelle Obama that goes high when you go low. As for me, when you go low, I go lower. And if you go lower, I go to hell. Well, she didn't exactly say that, but guys, it's Lil Tay we're talking about. She can definitely say something like that. Jojo Siwa unliked the post, but the damage had been done. Actually, TMZ caught it right on time and wrote this piece about it before the heat was too much, and Jojo ran back to Twitter to undo her wrong, but well, it was already too late. Here's what Lil Tay had to say. It's Jojo Siwa, you're a scary If you have something to say about me, say it. And this time, don't delete your comment or unlike shady tweets. Don't let those paid YouTube views and botted streams get to your head. Madonna from a Dollar Tree. Not Madonna from Dollar Tree. But yeah, this is the fire Jojo Siwa was playing with, because this would be a typical Lil Tay response. She didn't even go hard, actually, because let me tell you, when Lil Tay is on your case, even your hairline will get weaker and your skin will instantly become ashy just from her clapbacks. If there's something Lil Tay has plenty of, it's time. So she didn't just stop at one response, she literally went on a rant. Here are some of the tweets she wrote regarding the Jojo situation. Please don't mention me and her in the same sentence. Wish I didn't find find out who that is. I wrote sucker for green myself. Didn't buy the song or hire a ghostwriter. Please don't mention me and her in the same sentence. I'm agreeing with him. I'm just stating I didn't know who she was, but after some research, I found out she associates with, buys her songs, and doesn't write her music. And I take my music very seriously, and I don't want to be compared to frauds. Of course, defending Colleen and James Charles had to come up because that's what happens when good apples are mixed with bad ones. The fact that Jojo Siwa defended these two and keeps being close to her will always be an issue throughout her career, which is already questionable because of the way she and her mom treated those backup dancers who exposed her. Another thing that has stained Jojo Siwa's legacy, not legacy, that's a very serious choice of word for JoJo's case. I mean, the other thing that has stained and will always paint JoJo's image in a bad light is the song stealing thing. That's actually the reason why Lil Tay referred to her as a fraud. Well, at least we now know that Karma wasn't Jojo Siwa's brainchild and that the original sound was from Britt Smith. But to be honest, she went through a greater length to make it look like Karma was all her. To the point that TMZ asked Jojo Siwa about the song and her response was, "I didn't steal anything. There's no such thing as stealing. I also don't know who Britt Smith is." One thing about JoJo is that she loves to thrive in controversy. So now she's claiming that she doesn't know who Britt Smith is. I won't be shocked if they get into another online feud with Britt Smith after the Lil Tay one dies down. The disrespect. Imagine being the original owner of a song and then over 10 years later, some attention-seeking wannabe happens to buy the copyrights to your song and then publicly say that they don't even know who you are. Jojo Siwa never knows when to shut up. That's one of her weaknesses. Speaking of rebranding, people actually pointed out that JoJo's rebrand wasn't as grand as Lil Tay's because if y'all can remember, Lil Tay just resurfaced in late 2023 after almost 5 years of radio silence. She worked on herself and came back a more polished version of the former Lil Tay that we used to know. This person said Lil Tay was gone for years and went and got herself educated and cultured. Now that's a rebrand power move. Guys, you know Jojo Siwa was completely out of order when everyone was on Lil Tay's side. Because if we're being honest, Tay has had a load of controversies and lost a lot of fans for her kind of music and generally being vulgar. So for people to be overwhelmingly on her side, Jojo Siwa really crossed the line. Just take a look at some of the comments. Lil Tay might have been just a meme, but at least she never lied about buying a song and saying that she wrote it instead. I don't blame her for wanting to not be compared to Jojo Siwa. Lil Tay is not holding back, and I am not a fan of her, but I like her way better than Jojo Siwa. She needs to be humbled, and so does her mother. TBH, I'd rather hear Lil Tay than this Gene Simmons wannabe. Love how this was supposed to be a rebranding and a new era for JoJo, and she's getting ate up by Lil Tay and Britt Smith. Guess she really got karma from stealing music. To make matters worse for JoJo, you'd think nature has a sense of humor because funny enough, the original version of Karma has been receiving more sales and attention than JoJo's. Karma is when the original artist has more sales in the last week than JoJo. However, some people are saying that there's more to Lil Tay's rant than JoJo's involvement. Well, that could be true because there's always two sides to a story. So apparently Tay is creating beef with many people like JoJo to get attention turned to her because she's about to drop a new song. It couldn't be very far from the truth because this is something artists do every other hot Wednesday afternoon. It could actually be true because Lil Tay also went for Andrew Tate. Yep, you heard that right. 16-year-old Tay literally stood up to the Andrew Tate when he made his usual demeaning posts about women. So Tate recently wrote a tweet that Lil Tay found problematic and gave Andrew a piece of her mind. Looks like Andrew was so puzzled because he ended up blocking Lil Tay. Tate wrote, feminism, liberalism, single parents, etc., etc., all would vanish if women obeyed their fathers until they found a partner and obeyed him. Females who lack masculine guidance are the tool of Satan for destruction of the world. To which Lil Tay responded, your father cheated on your mother and made a single mom to two losers. You talk yet have kids with many random women. You talk yet you trap women. Feminism exists because of clowns like you. Stop blaming women for everything men cause. Tay's response had over 90K likes and over 1 million impressions within hours. She even reposted when Andrew Tate blocked her. Anyways, back to the Jojo Siwa saga, guys. Tate isn't taking this lightly at all. Well, people can compare artists and peg them against each other, but for a fellow artist to blatantly come out and side with the haters, that was so low of JoJo. TMZ also wrote, worth noting, sucker for green Evergreen came out about 6 months ago and has about 7.8 million views on YouTube, while Jojo's track already up to 20 million views in just over a week. So it seems fans are less concerned about where the song came from, but Lil Tay's drawing a line in the sand and could set up a virtual future face-off. This is exactly why most people feel Jojo was unnecessarily mean to Tay. I mean, if you're already doing well for yourself, why bring another artist down when they're not even your competition? Remember those mean high school babes who looked like they had it all going for them, but for some reason they would still be threatened by the unproblematic nerd who never bothered anyone? Yeah, that's literally Jojo Siwa. Anyways, loves, that's it for today, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification buttons to get the latest scoop on these celebrities and influencers.